Hello and welcome once more to Red Gaming Tech, and welcome to the space year 2015. I hope you guys all received your hoverboards this morning. I've got mine and it's awesome. I also have some predictions from Michael Pachter. Now of course he's got a bit of a mixed reputation. He has got quite a bit wrong, but he's also got quite a few right, and his predictions are still deemed to be accurate enough for his analysis to be used to make investments and of course disinvestments. Of course, we are now on the cusp of a new year, and the race between Xbox and PlayStation is of course heating up quite nicely. And naturally, Michael has some predictions as to what will happen. Of course, he thinks we'll be seeing Activision gaining traction in free-to-play, and he went on to say that, quote, "I think Hearthstone is only the beginning. I think that Heroes of the Storm, Call of Duty Online and Overwatch will take Activision over 500 million to free-to-play revenues in 2015 and to 1 billion in 2016. The company really seems to have figured out how to play in this space, and I expect it to continue to thrive." However, one of the most interesting points, and he did make quite a few, which I will discuss in a moment, is that Sony's exclusive will allow to keep its console sales lead. Now, of course, the last report that we have from MPD regarding the Xbox One and PS4 sales figures is that the Xbox One finally took the lead after the PS4 basically ran with it for like a good 10 months. So, of course, we don't yet know what December held for the Xbox One and PS4. Unfortunately, I think it'll be a little while, maybe a week or so or something like that, before we see any figures regarding that. So it's kind of a guessing game, but the last we heard, Xbox One is in the lead. Despite that, Michael said, quote, "Assuming the Xbox One reverts to the $399 price point, I think that Sony first-party software will make a real difference in 2015. Their company has a phenomenal lineup of exclusives, and they're spread throughout the year. They should keep interest in the PS4 high and should allow to extend its lead." Now, on the same topic, he's also predicting that Microsoft will, in his words, be the first to blink and will actually reduce the price to $349. And he went on to say, quote, "Microsoft appears to hate being in second place, and its success with the $349 price point and bundles at holiday suggests to me the first month Sony retakes the lead, Sony will react and cut the price again. That probably happens in January, with some kind of bundle, Evolve, Battlefield Hardline, in the spring from Microsoft." Now, he then went on to speak on Nintendo, who I think everyone is watching very carefully. The Wii U is finally making some pretty good traction, and of course we have confirmation that they are working on a new console. We probably won't see that console for a while, but they are working on it, so I think people are definitely starting to sit up and take notice of Nintendo again after a couple of years of the Wii U not doing all that well. It has finally kind of burst into the limelight, if you will. However, according to Michael, it will fail to reignite Western third-party support. And he went on to say, quote, "Although it didn't attract much media attention, it was a profound statement that neither Call of Duty nor Assassin's Creed were made for the Wii U in 2014. I think that shows that Western publishers have given up on the Wii U following the lead of EA. I think that we'll see even less third-party support in 2015. Nintendo content remains compelling, but their big titles are too few and too far between to justify Wii U ownership for anyone other than hardcore fans." So there you have it, some rather interesting predictions from Michael Pachter. Now, as I said at the beginning of the video, he does have a little bit of a checkered reputation, but he has got quite a few right. He's got a fair few wrong, of course, but he has correctly predicted, say, Microsoft making the Kinect not required for the Xbox One, the price cut for the Xbox One, and the fact that the Xbox One would be in the lead for the month of November. So, I say, don't dismiss him off the bat. He has recognised he's got a few wrong, but he has got a fair few right, so I think it'd be silly to dismiss him completely offhand. Now, I do agree that Activision Blizzard are probably going to continue doing free-to-play. They do seem to have it very much down. Of course, Hearthstone's doing really, really well. Heroes of the Storm, of course, is not officially out yet, but that seems to be pretty popular. Of course, we've got Overwatch coming. Now, I doubt they're ever going to go completely free to play and stop releasing, say, I don't know, StarCraft or Warcraft or whatever, but it does seem that they've got a nice lineup of paid games and then a pretty strong lineup of free-to-play as well. Hearthstone is actually one of the best free-to-play games I've played. Simple, sure, but the business model is good, and of course the game is very good as well, which always helps. Heroes of the Storm I haven't actually had access to, so I can't comment, but it does look really, really good, and Overwatch looks like it could be interesting as well. So Blizzard are definitely coming on in leaps and bounds when it comes to free-to-play. Sony exclusives, well, the exclusive race is kind of down to your personal preference. It's so subjective to your personal opinion. Like for me, PS4 has more games that I'm personally interested in. Xbox has quite a few, but just personally speaking, PS4 has more. That doesn't make it the better console. It just means personally for me, there's more games that I'm interested in. My favourite is the PC. End of. But of course, my personal preference has no telling on what's going to happen. I think if Microsoft does keep the price point, if they can afford to do that, then it's going to be a very interesting race. The exclusives are pretty strong on both sides coming up for next year. We had some good releases this year, but 2014 I think will always be known as the year of the overhype. Whereas games were disappointing on launch, and they do not want to repeat that for 2015, have people constantly be hyped up and then disappointed, hyped up and disappointed. That can't be done as much as it used to be, in my opinion anyway, so I think it's going to be a very interesting race. It's going to be a close one, I think. I don't think any of the competitive parties, that being Microsoft or Sony, are going to win by a landslide, so I'm definitely going to be keeping my eyes peeled for who comes out the victor. Anyway guys, do let me know your thoughts and opinions on anything discussed in this video. I hope you had a lovely new year, and I'll see you next time.